All right, the president meeting with Janet Yellen today. We're learning from the vice president, at least, that he favors John Taylor for the next Fed chair. Gerri Willis examines that short list and how it's looking right now. Gerri, what do you have?
Well, that's right, Neil. And the candidates are, number one, Gary Cohn. That's the current National Economic Council director and former Goldman Sachs executive. But as you know, his criticism of the president on his handling of the Charlottesville crisis is thought to make his nomination unlikely. Two, current Federal Reserve member Jerome Powell, who is said to have the support of Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and has favored a gradual approach to winding down the Fed's crisis-era stimulus programs. Number three, Stanford University economist, as you just mentioned, John Taylor. He has been very critical of the Fed's easy money policy. He's advocated the Fed use a mathematical formula to decide interest rate policy. Novel. He advised Republican candidate Mitt Romney in his bid for the presidency, and as you said, Pence is a fan. Four, former Fed board member Kevin Warsh served as an advisor to President George W. Bush. He's favored by mainstream Republicans and considered a shrewd political operator. And last, but certainly not least, Janet Yellen has served 3 years as Fed chief. And incumbency, get this, has its benefits. That's according to the Wall Street Journal. For nearly 4 decades, new presidents have nominated the sitting Fed chief for another term, even if that person was appointed by a president of the opposing party. And Neil, don't think for a minute there's Republican agreement on a candidate on this issue like taxes, health care. Republicans are very far apart. Neil?
Yeah, the Republicans who argue on Janet Yellen's behalf keep the good times rolling. They don't seem to hold a party label on that. Thank you very, very much, Gerri.